Hi guys, I'm Woodcraft Hamster and I thought I would do a quick episode today on carving a pocket spoon. Now I tried this out on one of my previous episodes where I'm putting some of the roughing out work up here on this corner, and today really I'm just going to be using this little billet of birch. It's fully seasoned, but it's what I've got to work with at the moment. Now to start off with, I need to put a stop cut down where the bowl meets the handle. That just gives me something to aim at with my axe, and what I'm trying to do is put a bit of a V shape in here. That means that the bowl will be slightly sort of curved away from the handle, which I think is just a really nice look for a small spoon like this. Then I'll be getting out my axe and really just working it down just to get it to the right general shape. Now what is a pocket spoon, I hear you ask? Basically it's no different to any other spoon that you would carve, except that it's scaled down to pocket size. It's a sort of thing that you can take out bushcrafting and camping, and it just kind of sits nicely in a pack or a pocket, and it's really just a miniaturized version of a normal eating spoon. So that's the roughing out done. Hopefully that kind of made a little bit of sense over here in the corner, and what I'll do, I'll bring the camera a little bit closer in and we'll make a start on some of the shaping. Right then guys, so here we have our notched piece of wood, and all I want to do now before I start any more shaping is just to get the bowl in. Now for that I'm going to be using my twicker cam. You can use a gouge for this, you can use a spoon knife, but I figure because I've got this and it makes the work slightly easier, this is what I'm going to use. And all you're going to do is just start carving away at the bowl. Now ideally I want this slightly wider at the top than I do at the bottom, so the top is where I'm going to start, and really you want the bowl to come up and meet this line where we put our stop cut. And hopefully you can see just how quickly this twicker cam cuts through. Now what I'm going to do, I'll speed through this footage, but I'm going to make it wide at the top here, so I'm going to extend this out and then I'm going to bring it down towards the bottom and sort of taper it as I go. So there we go guys, hopefully you can see that bowl now setting in. I may do a little bit of tidying up, I'm not sure yet, but that's certainly good enough for now. It's not 100% symmetrical, but we can sort of tidy that up a bit when we do some shaping later. And what I'll do, I'll just move over back to the workbench and we'll make a start on some of the shaping. Right then guys, so here is our blank so far. As you can see, I've put a couple of stop cuts in and I've also marked out where I want my handle to be. In terms of marking out, I tend to find it's a lot easier once you've got the bowl in, is put a straight line up straight from the middle, so you've got kind of like roughly where you want your handle, and then put a mark sort of, I don't know, 2/3 of the way up. Start down the bottom with a ruler and work your way up to that mark, and it gives you that kind of perfectly angled line so that you can follow that. I mean, I've marked it out a little bit excessively just so you can see it on the camera, but essentially I want this to be kind of a what's the word for it, an angled handle. Now to start off with, what I really want to do is work on the back of this billet, and I want to bring the waste wood down so that it's in line with the two diagonals I've got up here. It will make more sense once I start. So I'm going to do that now very quickly. I'll speed through the footage and I'll come back when we are ready to move on. Right then guys, so still a little bit of work to do, but I will do that off camera, but hopefully you can kind of see where it is I'm going for now. You know, you've got this kind of slightly sweeping handle coming up here, you've got the offset bowl, and all I'm going to do is just carry on axing this down until it's about as thin as I'm willing to make it with the axe, and then we will move on to the next step. Right then guys, so here is our roughed out spoon, and there's a little bit of footage up in the corner just showing you carving down to our stop cuts on either side here, and basically that's as far as I'm going to take this with the axe. Now what I'm going to use next is my Mokatogen, basically because I've been using this for everything recently, and it's as simple as getting a good grip and then just using it to start carving down some of this waste wood. Now this is a little bit of a tricky design, so it's not quite as smooth as I've done previously, but it really does let you get up into things like the corners here and start curving these round. So what I'll do, I'll give this another 5 minutes or so, I'll speed through the footage and then we'll move over to our knife. Right then guys, so we are now down to just the final knife work. Now this is where we've got to so far. You can sort of see that little crank in there. It's not particularly pronounced, but you know, it's kind of what I was looking for. And now that I'm moving over to knife work, there's two grips, cuts, call them what you like, that I tend to use most often when I get to this stage. One of them is the chest lever, which is essentially gives you a lot of cutting power. But it's, you know, you're not throwing your knife around like this, it's just a safer way of doing it. And then the thumb push, which is essentially doing this. Now I'm not going to bore you with this whole process, so what I think I'll do, I'll just skip the footage around a little bit here and there just to show you a few of the different things I'm going to be doing. Right then guys, so that is our spoon all but finished. Hopefully you can see sort of the effect I was going for here. It's not entirely symmetrical, but you know, it was kind of what I was hoping for. I might refine it a little bit further at a later date. The reason I'm not finishing this today is actually a gift for somebody, and I really kind of just want to have a real think about what I want to do in terms of kind of putting any kind of ornamentation, that kind of thing on here. I'm also going to be using this in an episode coming up in a week or so, because a lot of people keep asking me what finishes I use and how I apply them. So I thought I'd do a video using this spoon just to show you how I would finish something like this. So that's it for today, guys. I hope it was useful. Comments and questions in the box below. Hit like and subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I hope you'll all join me next time. Thanks, guys.